Hello, it's been a couple of weeks since I did a video, so I thought worthy of an update, just show what's going on. Still keeping busy, finishing up now, well certainly for the time being, the British side of the American War of Independence. I've got a lot of Continentals still to do at some stage. Whether I'll rush to do that I don't know. My friend's gone out and, well, I will do it at some stage, but I may not rush to do it. A friend's recently gone out and bought a load of Continentals, so yeah, we've got. I can get a game of it very easily whenever I want to. So that side of things isn't a problem. There's no sort of pressure to provide the opposition now. But at some stage, I'm sure I will paint them because I've got the figures. So, but yeah, just sort of finishing up the British side of it really. As I've shown off before, I've got quite a few sort of units of British infantry, Hessian infantry, a few natives, some militia as well. So I've got plenty of troops, but I was just lacking a few officers, and I've got to sort of lead them really. So I did these three. They came out they're all Warlord Games. Came out the Liberty or Death box set. A little bit of a lack of variety. You will notice the horses are all exactly the same. They're exactly the same, basically the same bodies and the same horses. But I've just sort of done different heads and different things with the arms to try and get the sort of a little bit of variety out of them. But yeah, basically got 2 British officers on each side. That's the first one. A second British officer. I'll try and vary him up a bit. He's got a hat in his hand rather than a sword. Yeah, they are nice figures again. They look okay. It would be nice to get some variety, but yeah, these will do. I've mixed them up as best I can, and then this will be a Hessian leader, officer, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, reasonable figures. They've come up okay, I think. Quite pleased with them. Have a look at him. Yeah, would you follow him into battle? I don't know, but yeah, he's come up okay. I think he'll do the job. So yeah, that's the first thing. Their usual thing. I've got Luke's APS basing on there. What's that one called? Patchy Plain, maybe, something like that, which seemed quite appropriate for that part of the world. And a few tufts as well, just to get some grass. If you're being particularly picky, you'd say there's quite a lot of rocks there for the horses to be wandering around. I'd expect a few broken ankles within the next couple of steps, and that's probably a fair point. But yeah, it all adds to it adds a bit of texture, doesn't it, and a bit of dynamic to the whole thing. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. But yeah, so they're the officer figures, say for the AWI. I've also done a few casualty figures. I'll put those up next. Yeah, starting with the Hessians first. These are all Warlord Games casualty figures out of the Liberty or Death box set. That's the first one. There's a bit of a Fusilier, Grenadier. So about the only variety you can make with these is which head you stick on them, and also where you put the blood for the wound. I did wonder whether that was a bit gratuitous, but yeah, it also looked a bit unrealistic having them without any blood on them, presuming they've probably been shot somewhere along the line, or spiked with a bayonet or something. So yeah, that seemed a reasonable way of doing it. That's Citadel Blood for the Blood God, I think. I don't use too many of the Citadel paints, but that's one that I have sort of kept and do use from time to time. It also feels a bit, you know, you've spent time putting highlights and washes and things on, and then to plaster a load of that over the top feels a bit odd sometimes. But yeah, the rest of the figures are still standing up okay, so yeah, it's not too bad. And if you have made a mess or a mistake somewhere with your painting, it also gives you the opportunity to cover that up as well, so it's maybe not all bad. But yeah, so they're the Hessian figures. Use them to denote disorder or casualties, whatever I want to do with them, or just general scenery really. Yes, there's those. I've got some British ones as well. Yeah, and these are the British casualties. They're Perrys this time. They came out the Perrys box. There's 2 types of casualty figure in there. I ended up with an extra command sprue, I think, to make another unit, so I ended up with 4 casualty figures. I've actually painted one up for each regiment that I've made, so I've got a casualty figure for each one. Not that I'll probably be that OCD about using them with the right one in a game, but yeah, if you wanted to, you can. There's a light infantryman there for a bit of variety. Another one at the back. That's the the main boys, the East Kents, I think, which are my home regiment. So yeah, give them some love. So yeah, as I say, he's not done too well, but the rest of them I'm sure will be fine. Yeah, so just box standard casualty figures, but again I think it's sort of just finishing up that side of the project really, before I at some stage I'll get around to the Continentals, but no rush now. So yeah, as I say, just finishing up this part of it. I've been doing some other things as well as the AWI. So yeah, still doing some more figures for my ancient stuff for the Carthaginians. This is just a unit of Iberian or Spanish javelin men. I found in a game we expanded the number of points we were playing, and I was a unit of skirmishers short, so I painted these up to fill the gap. Again, they're Victrix figures as always, and they come up really nice with Little Big Man Studios transfers. Yeah, they come up really nice, so I was quite pleased with these. Don't take too long to do, and you're only doing 6 at a time as well. Yeah, nice figures. I'm pleased with them. And been doing a little bit more ancient stuff as well. Yeah, these are Numidian javelin men. I've got a pack of the Victrix again. I've got a pack of the Numidian infantry. There's 24 in there. You can do them as either javelin and skirmishers like this, or you can do them as sort of I think at one point in the history they did sort of make imitation legionaries, so you can make them into those as well, which is what I've done with the other 12 in the packet. Just haven't painted them yet. I will do at some stage, but these are ridiculously easy to paint. I've got 4 different shades there. There's sort of a very light grey and a warm white, a cold white, and a sort of a buff colour. But yeah, just to add a little bit of variety. I think you could probably do them all white if you wanted to, but I wanted to sort of add some sort of different shades in there. Even if they were wearing exactly the same clothes, which I'm sure they wouldn't have been, they'd have been at different states of repair and wear and whatever. So yeah, just to sort of make it a bit more lifelike and a bit more as though they've been on some sort of campaign rather than fresh out the outfitters. Yeah, so that's yeah, again, Little Big Man Studio transfers. They do some really nice animal skin transfers for these guys, and they come up well. I think somebody's pointed out before that I've probably done the skin a little bit dark on these guys, but it was how I did the cavalry, so I did the infantry the same. I think that's probably true, to be fair, but you know, the pictures I was working off to start with sort of showed them more this way, but I think probably on reflection I could have done it a bit lighter, but at least I'll be consistent this way if I've done them all the same. So yeah, that's what we've been up to lately. No great news or anything particularly insightful or interesting to say, I don't think. Just sort of sharing a bit of progress. Obviously we're coming up to Christmas now. I'm going to take a bit of time off work over Christmas, so may or may not get quite a bit of painting done then. We'll see how we go. But I'm sort of a bit of a crossroads now. I don't really know what to do next. I'm sort of, yeah, as I say, the AWI, I've got a whole continental side to paint up if I want to, and I will, but maybe not immediately. I've got quite a few more ancient figures knocking around for the Carthaginian army, but I don't necessarily need them at the moment. I can paint up some different units to give me some different options and things, but I've got more than enough for the sort of games I'm playing. So yeah, it's deciding where to go next really. So I've still got quite a few 15mm Napoleonics as well, which I dip back into every now and again. So maybe it's time to do a few of those for a while. I don't know. The other thing I'm sort of thinking about is maybe getting. I've got quite a lot of 28mm Napoleonics there, sort of sat there on the shelf for a little while now. Now we're sort of getting into the sharp practice. I'm thinking maybe I should try and put a couple of forces for that together. Again, talking to a friend, he's quite keen to do a bit of that. So he was talking about getting a French army, so maybe I could paint up some Brits, or yeah, we'll have to see how we go. Yes, I wouldn't say, I know I hear people talk about painter's block and falling out of love with it. I don't think that's the case. I've been doing a bit less, partly because I've got other things going on, but yeah, I just not really sure. I've kind of not got a definite goal in mind at the moment. Kind of everything I wanted to do, or most things I want to do, are in a position where I've still got stuff to do, but I've done enough to play the games I want to play and do what I want to do with them. So yeah, a bit of a crossroads. but yeah, I'm sure I'll work out what to do at some stage. And yeah, I'll keep you updated as I go. So yeah, sorry, this one's probably been a bit rambling and not particularly insightful, as I say, but that's where we are. That's what we're doing. So yeah, just thought it's time to share. And yeah, so watching your videos. There's some good stuff coming out still, which is great to see. Lots of Napoleonic stuff going on in particular, which is maybe why I'm thinking down that road. But we'll see how we go. But yeah, thanks to everyone for subscribing, watching, everything else. Keep doing what you're doing, and speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.